So originally, like Tim and I sat down to record a case study interview where I was going to ask him about his experience with landing page labs, but it felt a little bit too gun to the head. We decided to switch up to a bit more of a chat and like podcast sort of style. So Tim, welcome to the very unofficial, unpublished Landing Page Labs podcast. I'd love to, yeah, tell the world how many subscribers, like what you do and like a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Yeah. First of all, thank you so much, Tyson. I'm delighted to be one of the first guests on the podcast. Absolute privilege, as you can imagine. But yeah, for context, if you don't know me just yet, I run an agency called B2B Boosted. We implement a super niche software, or at the very least, like now it's hyped, I guess, and a bit bigger. It's called clay.com. And in my free time, I build and distribute courses specifically around clay mainly, and then a couple of new courses that are coming out every couple of months from now on as well. So yeah, that's a bit of a quick Wikipedia summary of what I do.
Wait, you're underselling that. Tim has his own YouTube channel. He's partnered with Reach as well. Or is that
Well,
like
yeah, we,
understated?
we can throw it in the mix. Like, in fact, we actually, we can say that HeyReach are one of our best partners right now. It's similar with SmartLead as well. A bunch of the sales tools that you would see on LinkedIn, like most of them give us preferential terms for us for clients. And yeah, we love those tools because we were with them with HeyReach since they were doing, I think, like $3,000 in monthly revenue. And then now they're doing like 6 million every month, which was like 7 million a year or something like that. So it's some crazy amount that they're doing now, like
Wow.
100x in the last 2 years or so. It's crazy.
I'd love to talk about how we actually like first kind of met and like even like my first experience with you and then like how you found me and us. The real quick on my end is I actually got a cold email from you. I was in one of your sequences that you probably got from Triggerfy because I have been commenting
Sure.
on clay related posts and sales tech posts. And so you showed up in my inbox. And then when you actually emailed me about an opportunity to like work together, I actually emailed you back thinking that you had already had like some idea of me because I was on your list, but I was wrong. So mate, I'd love to hear like your side, what it was like finding me.
Yeah, no. So I recall, for context, I don't. So all of these automations that I run on the back end for the courses and all of that fun stuff, typically I just switch it on and I only track like positive replies that come through a Slack channel. And I tend to not really pay too much attention to it because it's secondary to all of the agency stuff that I used to be prioritizing over that. So when I saw the email and I saw your email reply, I didn't make much of it at the time because it was just like one of a lot of replies that we've been getting, because we're basically retargeting every single LinkedIn influencer to this day who comment, like anyone that engages with their post, like anyone that likes or comments on those. So for me, it was just like one of many replies. To be totally honest, I don't even recall it. Like, I remember the exact text, but I couldn't recall it was from you specifically. And at that point in time, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing around the course, around like all of this stuff, because whenever you build those kind of what you would probably refer to as funnels, it's a bit, even now, it's still a very new concept for me. So I literally was clueless at the time. And it was refreshing because I don't remember what exactly you replied. But yeah, so do you remember, Tice? Like, do you remember what it was?
I think it was hopefully something witty about did you get this from Triggerfy or something like that. I also probably gave you props for how good the outreach was because I don't often reply to much stuff, but yours is great, really.
Yeah, it's very hard because I'm sure you can relate with all the like direct response copy that you do with landing pages. It's so hard to actually keep the tone conversational and quite casual. And if you are able to do that, to just resonate on without throwing in some big words into the sentences, you would, yeah, like it stands out in the inbox a lot more than just 99% of the people that just like use AI generated outreach.
I really felt a tone in your outreach, like your tone on LinkedIn. If anyone's familiar with your content, like it really feels like there's a real human there. And that's definitely felt in your emails. And then I think from that email, I actually connected with you on LinkedIn. And I think that's how I came across your course as well. But mate, so how did you actually come across Landing Page Labs and me?
Yeah, so for context, I think Pen Frank and Felix Frank, like huge shout out to them. They put out a post a while ago saying, "Oh, hey, we're looking for a killer landing page expert or agency, like anyone that can help us out with landing pages." And for context, I know them quite well. So as soon as they put that out, I gave it a couple of days of just waiting because I knew that they would get a lot of submissions, a lot of applications. And I was like, all right, who was the best one? Just tell me. And then I think they did another LinkedIn post on the back of that, just showing like the cold email that you wrote to them, which was once again like an insanely good cold email from what I remember. It's like a lot of social proof about King Kong and all that fancy stuff. So they basically said that you were a killer landing page expert. And then that got me then looking at landing page labs. And I think I booked in through the wrong link though. That was the only downside. I think I booked in through some agency random link. So that was the only challenge on the way. But then before I knew it, I think the first call that we did was about 2 hours long around that. And I just remember being sat in the corner of the co-working and everyone else is just like typing away. And we're just in that call, like talking about like random funnels and landing pages and stuff. So it was good fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun to chat to you anytime because we just go back and forth, like trading insights based on our experience, like falling down like the rabbit hole of all the incredible sales tech that like you are a master of is super cool because like we're looking for so many different ways that we can plug that tech into
Mm.
our funnels for either organic traffic, but also paid ads as well to help us get more from all of our paid advertising dollars.
Yeah, it is one of those. I think it's so overwhelming as well. That's one challenge that I find right now. I'm sure like everyone had this question in the back of their mind where is, do you use Go High Level or do you use this other fancy platform? And typically that like whenever I jump on a call with you to this day still, I ask you like, oh, what's the best course platform out there? But it's never like a silver bullet. And I think one thing that I'm sure you've spent a lot of time doing as well is just like platform switching, especially at the very start. And it's just like as soon as you're like you live in one CRM in one specific tool, that's when you have a sort of like stability in your work life. Otherwise, you're just like exhausting free trials and jumping from one subscription to another. It's just chaos.
Oh, so true. Once you find that tool that works for you, stick with it because all the gains and the leverage comes from mastering that tool. But yeah, like back in the day, many subscriptions that only lasted a month or two, just trying to find the best tech stack, which I'm sure everyone can relate to. I want to back up a bit or actually zoom out and talk about like how you even fell into like sales tech, go to market engineering, and how you actually started the agency.
Sure. Yeah, no, I love that question there, Tice. I think mainly what you would find across most founders, and my story is no different here on the agency side of things. I worked for two companies where we scaled quite aggressively when it comes to the sales angle, and on the back of just two companies scaling like beyond millions in revenue from like a startup stage of no customers when I was one of the first sales hires. You do think, hey, am I the common denominator here? Or is it the fact that we were just in the right place at the right time? So on the back of that, I just thought, okay, screw it. I can't be bothered to go to the office anymore. I honestly just want that control over my life of where I can wake up whatever time I want. I can do whatever I want during the day. So it was just more from a position of just like pure, like wanting to have a lot of freedom in my life, which when you're an employee, a lot of the time it's restricted one way or another. So you were just mainly from that. And starting off, we did African B2B sales, and it was like a lead generation agency for African startups. It wasn't the most amount of money that you could charge in that market. So we pivoted about 12 times. We stumbled across this random software called Clay, which I saw in a couple of LinkedIn posts. Took a couple of months of just pure trial and error. And we were like one of the first Clay experts. And of course, like that helped the agency to get to where we are now. But even then, it's just like pivoting and having no idea what you're doing for the first 18 months to be able to be in a position where now there are still areas that you can improve, but you are in a decent position. So yeah, not sure how similar it is from your side as well, because do you not feel like most of the time it's just like you get crazily good at one thing and then you just start your own agency and spin that off? Is that something that you can relate to there?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you cultivate like a specialist skill set. And you're like, yeah, like I can do this like for other people on my own back. You think it's going to be like you're going to have more freedom, but you end up having like less, at least like initially, where you have to just do everything and you have to start stacking skills because, you know, you can do great like lead gen, then you stack in Clay, and now you can do like full go to market engineering. But then you've got to do your invoicing and the finances like the company. You've got to do
Mm.
content to like drive and nurture leads. So that's how it goes, where it's like one after the other. And then hopefully you can grow into a unicorn, or you probably end up leaving kind of agency life to work for someone else. But luckily for you, you're still going strong and delivering awesome results. And I think you sent me like a Slack the other week of we need to add 40 new testimonials or something to the landing page. So it sounds like things are going all right.
Yeah, yeah. Like I really want to go huge on social proof because I think with courses, it's so difficult to trust like video testimonials because a lot of the time it just feels like you're bribing someone to basically just chat good stuff at you about a course or whatever. And I think it's refreshing because my goal is linking the LinkedIn profile of every person that left the testimonial. So you can reach out to 40, 50 people, just click on the profile and just be like, hey, was this actually worth the money? And as it's the most affordable course in the market. So of course people are going to rave about it. So I think that's the main part here. And you can antagonize some of the bigger courses as well, because most of them are a waste of money in proportion to the value that they may provide as well. So yeah.
That's such a ripping idea. I love that. So many course sellers would be afraid to actually give prospects or would-be purchasers access to their students for fear of what they would say, but certainly not the case for you, which speaks to the quality of it, which I can attest to as well.
But one thing, Tice, as well on that, I think you would always start like your minimal viable product 99% of the time is going to be absolutely rubbish, right? Like the first course was scrappy, didn't have a sense of structure. It was like the first course I've ever created. But if you just iterate every single time, and to this day, I still like on a monthly basis, I just drop a message on like the community chat. And I'm just like, all right, so what's missing? What do we want recorded? Like I'm literally going to lock myself in the co-working for a day. Tell me. And then like people just DM me a bunch of like random videos they want to see. And then as long as you keep on replying to those, if one person wants to see it, the chances are another 5 people want to see it. And then before you know it, they also will then refer friends. And we don't even do like affiliate links right now, because I think that's when it becomes a bit more multi-level marketing, which I'm trying to stay away from. So yeah, I do think with courses, it's quite an easy space to stand out in if you genuinely care about improving it beyond the point of just launching it. Because launch date is important for most like creators or whatever, but I don't really see that much more revenue on launch day compared to on a monthly basis like afterwards, because I think maybe I'm not the best at launching, but at the same time, because there's just infinite value that gets added throughout. So people just refer one another and so on.
Yeah. Yeah. And so just to give a bit of context to like all the course talk. So Tim has a course. Actually, Tim, if you don't mind, I'll actually let you talk
Sure.
about the course and just give us like the real quick on what it is, how you started it, and like where it's at now.
Yeah, sure. For context, I think when I met Tice, I had about 6 students on Kajabi, and Tice, maybe not six, it was 6 or 10 paid students on Kajabi. And I know when Tice was purchasing it, he was probably purchasing it because for context, Tice purchased the course as well for whatever random reason on that point. And he was within the first 50 students or so. The real challenge was like the first couple of months, just getting the first 50 people on board, because the Kajabi landing page sucked. It was absolutely crap. It was just me like dragging and dropping boxes and that kind of thing. So right now it's overall probably over 400 students or so, of which I can track about 270 as like coming this year, which is pretty insane. But the point being that the goal is to hit 1,000 students by the end of this year, which will make it the biggest course specifically for anyone looking to learn clay.com, which is the software. And we just basically teach you everything from beginner mode all the way to intermediate. And we're jumping into advanced territory now as well, assuming that I have time to film infinite videos and edit them slightly and upload them into the course. So yeah, that's like the gist. It's mainly just teaching you Clay from start to finish, and also how to use it alongside all the other sales tools that seem overwhelming, but could be like dummy proofed and oversimplified in a lot of cases as well.
Well said. And I hope that as the viewers can see, you are just a great explainer and you make all that complex subject matter like easy to follow and understand. And I keep seeing that like when we were building the page for you, the landing page, actually helping connect students with the course to actually make the purchase and get access to it, going through all those testimonials that you had and feedback, which was like, Tim simplifies this. Tim puts it in a step-by-step way. And so it was really easy to bring that messaging or know what to say on the landing page because it was all like there for us.
Yeah, I think one thing that I always dream of is just being 100% replaced inside of the agency business that I run right now. So anything that I learn, I feel like I can be an open book about, because regardless of how many checklists or step-by-step guides you will create, you will work inside the agency. And a lot of the time it will also be applicable to the students in the course. So that's why, yeah, like I spend way too much time thinking about those tutorials, which I think it's in contrast to a lot of people that would maybe producing similar content as well. So it's just one of those. And that's why it's so hard to try to be everywhere, because people have like editors and real people that are like scheduling posts and all of that. And then it's just a one person business on the course side, which is where guys like you and landing page labs come in as well, because like the landing pages right now, I like last time I checked, it was 1 in 6 people buying the course. And I'm not sure I checked that stat correctly. So you like it may be better than that by now. But yeah, like I think it was on Clarity, right? We checked on Clarity last time.
Yeah, I think it might have dropped a little bit from that because that was a crazy conversion rate. Like now that we're 5 months on, and yeah, the traffic isn't quite as hot, but it's still doing like extremely well. But it's a very easy sell as well. So I have to give credit to the offer too, of yeah, just like how good the course is really, and all the bonuses that we put together. It's if you want to experience it, head to unlockclay.com. We'll
Yeah,
probably like
link in the
splice in.
description there. Absolutely. Bring it on.
Yeah, yeah, dude, that's awesome to hear. So where do you think you're going to go to next? Either like with the agency or the course or just for you as a human? What's on the agenda?
Yeah, I think everyone has sleepless nights, especially if you're an agency owner, just thinking about what's the actual end goal, because a lot of the time you're just stuck in the service fulfillment and, all of that's like that side of things. And that's what I think I was just mentioning to you at the start of this call. Like last night, I just couldn't sleep because I was just thinking, like, what do we actually do with agencies? What goals do we want to hit this year and so on? And we already have like quantifiable goals and so on. So I think more or less, I just want to be 100% replaceable in the agency. I want to hire a killer team to get them to do the service fulfillment on a day-to-day level, and then just spend 99% of my time just running the course and just basically teaching the stuff that works inside of the agency. But for that, we're about 2 or 3 hires away because we've got 2 incredible hires right now on the automations and customer service side of things. We're still looking for that killer GTM engineer because we've flirted with quite a few, but it's difficult to really find someone who completely replaces like my level of knowledge and expertise and just like the attention to detail and so on. Hopefully that doesn't sound too egocentric there, but yeah, essentially the bigger picture thinking is probably just becoming replaceable within the agency in a good way without costing customers the loss of leads and so on. And then just focusing a lot more on just being able to switch off at 6 p.m. and just having a bit more of a balance in my life, which is trickier now because I started working on Sundays to launch new courses and update existing courses, which is not a good habit to fall into.
Yeah, no, I like totally relate to that. But in time, like you'll find those people who can bring back the balance. And there's only so many courses that you can launch. Maybe you can prove me wrong if anyone
Yeah.
can.
I honestly, that's one thing because courses, I think, have a bad rep overall. Is that fair to say? Because most of the time you would be skeptical of someone that has a lot of different courses. In my case, I'm probably going to limit it to the 3 courses that we have right now. In fact, I'm still thinking about merging all the Unlock Clay courses all into one because I don't think it's sustainable in the long run to manage multiple courses as a one-man business. But once again, happy to prove people wrong and just launch a bunch of new ones as well. But I think, yeah, probably no more after the one that we're working on right now, guys, which should be exciting.
Yeah. No, I'm excited about that too. Yeah, I think if people need help with this skill set or tool or function, then make all the courses that you can because like they're so great. You'll end up with Tim's University, but I think you're like giving courses back a good name, which is just like highly actionable, easy to follow, great results. And yeah, I just think it's only going to become even more valuable with just the amount of bad information out there. There really is so much. Yeah, man. I'm excited to keep helping you like build these like course funnels and the actual mechanism to get students like for these courses because they are great and it's a privilege to be like a part of bringing them to market. No limit on the courses, man.
I was going to say, on that side of things, it's so exciting for just working on all of these courses with you because 99% of the time, I just feel like I can just ask you a question and it's just like that one aha moment when you mention, oh, you can do this 7-day launch funnel or whatever it is. It's just like all I need to hear is just one sentence coming from you. And then I can spend like weeks working on implementing it and yeah, getting that live. So I think, yeah, huge shout out to you on that side because I think I tried to say it in most conversations that we have together because coming out of most conversations, I'm like blown away by one sentence that you say. So yeah, shout out to you because I mean it with a course even now, it wouldn't be where it is because of the amount of effort and time and energy you put into all the iterations of the copywriting and all that fun stuff to get us to resonate with like most people that visit the page. Like most people still compliment me to this day on the website, which has been live 7 months now. Yeah, shout out to you because like it's timeless as well. Like we haven't changed the landing page in like more than half a year, and still people are like, "God, to kill a landing page," which is a great thing.
Oh man, that's so nice. And just to say it like right back to you, it makes our job easy when the course content and quality is so good and there's so much care from you. And the fact that you're like testing, you're doing your R&D through the agency and then packaging up that knowledge to share it is really valuable and a great way to do it. And yeah, just on that page, like honestly, that page is some of the work that we're most proud of because like technically it was fun to pull off. But yeah, I just think like the flow of messaging is really there and I'm very happy with it. And I'm glad it's still delivering. And I'm sure that we'll do an update to it soon to add in all the new testimonials and results that you've got as well. And I know that now you're at like hundreds of students. You had a bonus in there of one-to-one communication with you, which I think will be pulling back now because your phone must be blowing up.
I'm still trying to reach inbox zero every day on WhatsApp. So for context, we have a WhatsApp group. I'm thinking of creating a Slack community as well, but then it's the matter of, okay, now I'll have to reply on two platforms, but I don't want to offer it as a given. I don't want people to just expect me to be replying to every single message, but it will be largely the case because I think with something as complicated as Clay, you definitely need to be a message away because a lot of the time it's just saying, hey, click this button. And then, the error message will disappear. We'll probably, I was thinking of getting a moderator as well. There are multiple different ways you can do it, but I'll probably will still on the back end be offering the one-on-one support. Like sometimes I still, to this day, I still film like Loom videos and log into people's workspaces to help out. But I do think it's something you can scale up to 1,000 students. But beyond that, it's going to be a bit more challenging. But beyond that, you could be in a position where you can hire a moderator to just, help out with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, that's so nice of you, like, to be handling, like, just there's just so much care, and it really shows. That's awesome. Mate, just want to say a big thanks for sitting down with me and having this chat. It's been fun, and I could talk to you, like, all day long, but I know that you're pressed for time. So, mate, can you tell us where can viewers find you and, like, connect to you and see more of your stuff?
Yeah, sure. So I think the number one place that I will be present on for the time being will be YouTube. So if you type in Tim Yakubson, I will, from like right now, I will definitely be top of the list in terms of there is nothing that comes up before my YouTube channel. And that's just the perks of having 500 subscribers or so. So yeah, if you just type in my name, you should find me on YouTube. But in the meantime, I might start posting on LinkedIn if I actually hire someone to help me with the scheduling and the managing of all the content and so on. But for the time being, it's just going to be YouTube. And I'm sure I'll be launching newsletters and all that, but that will be very much Clay heavy, which once again, if you're into Clay, probably no better place to go than there. But in the meantime, just type my name into YouTube. That's probably the best place to find me.
And attest, Tim's YouTube videos are great. Like, when I get stuck on a clay table or want to see, like, the new sort of workflow to run, I'm checking that channel out. It's awesome, really. And I am also hoping that the return to LinkedIn will come as well because your posts always crack me up. They have a great like sense of personality. They're actually like refreshing compared to the other LinkedIn content out there.
Yeah, I think with most clients, I find for our agency clients right now, we work with some companies now where on a personal level will resonate with a lot of them. So it's not like the typical corporate boring chat with most of them. It's they really open up as people from the first conversation. And they do say that they resonate with that kind of content, whether it's on LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever, because we don't like, I personally don't take myself as seriously, or I try not to just impersonate like a super hyper professional in every single thing that I do. In terms of, I don't try to be overly professional in the way I speak or something like that sort. Yeah, it's good fun to just be writing on LinkedIn and just being able to say whatever the hell you want because your personal branding is down to you, not down to the company or whoever that you want to impress on that side. Yeah, can't complain.
Said mate, said. And if I had to ask you for a testimonial to like clip it, what's the sort of TLDR on working with us and yeah, the experience that you've had?
Yeah, I think it's been great. The number one thing would be direct response copywriting, because a lot of the time, decent copy on some websites, but you just think, okay, like it resonates to a point with every single landing page to date that you've done so far. The reason that like every time I've got a landing page, I just message you and I know 100% that we're going to do this together. And it's not going to be, I'm not even considering other options. The number one reason is the way that the copywriting is done. So I think like direct response copy is probably the number one thing that stands out. And then on top of that, like all of this freaky stuff that you guys add to the landing pages where it's like the checkout for the course page, which is optimized for conversions and the kind of things that I don't even think about. Like when you try to click on exit on the website and then it just pops up with a reload button. Like I would never have thought about those kind of ideas. So it's refreshing to know that it's 100% taken off your shoulders when it comes to the responsibility of just getting what we're trying to achieve here. And all it is most of the time on my side, it's just filling in an onboarding form. And then the rest of it, I know you just take care of it. Of course, if you need the login or whatever you ask for, but it's just the whole, like the number one thing that stands out in my experience with landing page labs so far is just the ability to fill in an onboarding form and just let you guys do your magic. Like, I don't really need to do anything else on top of that. Even like the logos, our business logos were crap before we started working together. Now we have a new logo. It looks like we've rebranded or whatever, and that's great. So I think that's the number one thing that stands out for sure. So it could be copywriting, all that fun stuff. And yeah, it's generally just fast, responsive, just yeah, I just feel like you're an extension of the team throughout all the engagements. That's why I'm addicted to these landing pages. I have a new one in mind as well, which I think I haven't run past you just yet, but that will be another one for Q3 of this year. So yeah, put that in your calendar. Should be good fun.
Will do, mate. Thank you so much.